Why is Shelby County Juvenile Court forcing him to pay for a child that is not biologically his? What's even more unusual, he says the judges at Juvenile Court have an idea who the real father is.
Yet they're still demanding he pay up. Now he's turning to On Your Side investigator Stephanie Skurlock for help.
Talk show TV makes millions off the catchphrase, "You are not the father." But the reality in Memphis is just because you're not the daddy doesn't mean Shelby County Juvenile Court won't make you pay.
I was down there in handcuffs and chains.
Over the years, Edward Bowery had his driver's license stripped and once even found himself in handcuffs over child support payments for a child that's not his.
I would hate to see somebody else go through the same thing. I've been going through this. I mean, headaches.
This mound of paperwork shows a juvenile court judge ordered him to pay child support even before the birth.
I didn't do a voluntary acknowledgement. I didn't sign the birth certificate. All I knew is we legitimated the child in your name.
Bowery asked several judges during several hearings for a DNA test, but no judge ordered one.
I said, how did I even get put on child support? And I never said this was my child. And they said, again, this is not what we're here for.
In 2009, he took the child himself to get a DNA test and found the son he'd supported for years was not biologically his. He took the documentation to court. The judge wouldn't accept it, but ordered a new DNA test done that showed the same results. Probability of paternity, 0%.
They never did do what they were originally supposed to do, which was give me the opportunity to take a DNA test. I was just a voice not being heard, so I guess I needed a choir.
Juvenile Court Magistrate Nancy Kessler agreed in October to allow Bowery to disestablish paternity, but only after, he says, she admonished him for taking it this far.
The judge stated that, well, I find it very distasteful that you're bastardizing a child.
The judge stopped the child support going forward, but Bowery still has to pay $460 a month to the mother in back pay. He doesn't believe he should have to pay anything. In fact, he believes someone owes him money, the $30,000 he's already paid.
Administrators at Juvenile Court denied our request for an interview on this case, saying it's not appropriate to comment about rulings.
What are the chances of him getting his money back?
It is very unusual and very infrequent.
Family lawyer Miles Mason says in a similar case, the Tennessee Supreme Court ruled a man in Middle Tennessee could sue his ex-wife for fraud.
So y'all seen that? Y'all heard that. This is in Tennessee. This is 10 years ago, okay? 10 years ago. So look, fast forward to March 2022. A new proposed bill will protect Tennessee's parents from paternity fraud, okay? Representative Antonio Parkinson's proposed bill will ensure the actual biological father is listed on the birth certificate of the child. Boom. Recently, I was approached by a young man who told me he had been in a long-term relationship. Together, they had a son, and he signed a VAP, Voluntary Acknowledgement of Paternity. They were not married. 5 years later, he found out that the mother had been unfaithful. He took the child to a DNA test, and the results proved that he was not the father. You know, Jerry Springer Maury vibes. Subsequently, the relationship ended. The woman then sued him for child support. In juvenile court, he presented DNA evidence to the magistrate and was basically told somebody's got to feed him and it will be you. And he was ordered to pay child support and found in arrears. Eventually, his license was suspended. He was pulled over and jailed for driving on a suspended license. Sitting in jail, he lost his job. Because he signed and had passed a 5-year period to rescind the voluntary acknowledgement, he was deemed a legal parent. Through this process, the actual biological parent's child was stolen from him. Finally, under this scenario, the child's right to have their legal biological father listed on the birth certificate in some races. Also, biological parents need protection. Multiple reports state that 1/3 of the signatures on birth certificates from unmarried couples do not reflect the biological father's name. Under House Bill 2698, Senate Bill 177, unwed fathers could still sign, but in order for the birth certificate to be officially validated, the signer must provide the results of a DNA test to vital records. This will ensure that the actual biological father is listed on the birth certificate of the child. The Tennessee Department of Human Services, who oversees the child support program, is fighting vigorously to kill the bill. The child support program is trying to kill the bill that will protect people that's not the father from paying? Why? Because the department fears any changes in their enforcement rules could possibly jeopardize the $52 million in funding it receives from the federal government. They don't want to lose their bread. So, yeah, at the cost of people's livelihood, they don't want to lose their bread. Oh my gosh, bro. I got some things to say about that, but I'm not going to say it because they're going to take this video down and block it for a couple different things. $52 million funding it receives from the federal government. In addition, DHS could also potentially receive millions more for reaching a quota. Oh, they have quotas too. Oh, see, look, it all makes sense. 90% acknowledged births, with yet another bonus out there for exceeding the quota. So there's a huge financial motivation to turn a blind eye to individuals blindly signing the VAP form. The DHS program actually aids paternity fraud by allowing unsuspected putative fathers to blindly sign without proof of biological fatherhood. In fairness to the department, there is a 60-day grace period to remove your name from a birth certificate. Also, a father can contest paternity in court where DNA tests will be ordered. There's a 5-year period where one could go through the expensive legal process to rescind the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity, but they will have the burden of proving it was done fraudulently. It was after this 5-year period where the young man I was talking about was locked in legally for blindly side. Like, at that point, what do you do, bro? At that point, niggas be offing themselves off that shit, bro. That's crazy. Y'all saw the news report we just watched from 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Y'all saw how blurry that video was. 10 years ago, bro. 2013. And it's something that still is happening. And they don't care. All this can be remedied by simply requiring a DNA test on the front end to elevate any challenges and potential emotional scarring for the child, the wrongly accused father, the mother, and the rightful biological father. We hear the words, do what's best for the child. As a state, we should do just that. Keep the child at the forefront and do what's best at the front end to minimize the pain and hurt on the back end. Yep. Real shit, real shit. Hopefully this gets passed. This is an opinion piece, but it seemed, it's pretty logical, pretty reasonable. Whew. It's only just now getting a lot of attention I've seen on social media and like people making YouTube videos. But damn, bro, that's real shit. That paternity fraud shit is some real shit, bro. Niggas don't care, of course, because the victims of it are men, right? The victims are men. And, who, as we just previously saw, who cares about the men? Oh, no, the man, boo-hoo. Oh, you have problems? So be a better person. Shut up. Shut up. They always want men to suffer for shit that's not their fault. How you gonna tell me I'm the father? I'm not the father. That's on the woman's fault. Because that's on the woman. You dig what I'm saying? But you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with this shit, boy. And, it's crazy how when I first looked up that news report, I didn't even realize that it was also in Tennessee that story is taking place. I didn't realize that. That was purely coincidental.
The state has been turning a blind eye to this by allowing people to sign blindly without any proof of DNA association to this child, which is allowing people to be guilty, or in some cases, of paternity fraud, which is a crime.
Well, Joe, House Bill 2698 passed through the Children and Family Affairs Subcommittee today now, but it didn't come without a challenge from the Tennessee Department of Human Services. Memphis Representative Antonio Parkinson is sponsoring the House version of this bill, and he told me today he has spoken with constituents who said they have had to foot the bill for child support even after finding out a child they originally thought was theirs was not.
Isn't that evil?
This is why women don't want paternity fraud to be criminalized and paternity testing mandatory.
It says it
Banishment Highlights Daily has a lot of good videos. Y'all should check out that channel. Shout out MHD.
Into law, their department could be at risk of losing about $52 million in federally matched dollars.
I guess the concerns that we have is that
you don't want to lose your money.
The bill would possibly put us out of compliance with the federal regulations.
You don't want to lose your bread.
After speaking with attorneys from the U.S. Department of Human Services, Representative Parkinson says the bill would not affect the money the state receives.
Like I always say, follow the money. It's not just women that benefit from these laws. It's businesses, it's corporations, and the states themselves. Check this out.
The passing of the Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act, or the OBRA, occurred in 1993. And according to the Office of Inspector General, and this is in 1997, that act amends the Child Support Title 4D of the Social Security Act and it requires states to implement hospital-based programs for voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. That's where that was the game changer. That changed the birth certificate, making a difference on whether you are the father or whether you were there to sign it or not. That changed the whole game. The purpose was to facilitate at birth paternity for children of unmarried parents. Now this is code. Now we know that the child support system is a welfare recovery program. So this was all designed to get put parents on child support immediately from the very beginning, the birth of your child when you're unmarried. This is a design that they had set up. So the state child support agencies must make voluntary acknowledgement outreach materials available to new parents. So they had outreach that come in and talk to you, all that kind of stuff. The child support agencies must monitor birthing hospital compliance, at least manually. So they gotta make sure all these hospitals that are delivering the babies are making sure they're in compliance to say, we got all these new babies. We are making sure we give them the information they need to acknowledge paternity. The Bill Clinton's bill expanded the role of the hospital staff.
So as you can see, this shit got a lot of history to it. Like this from the 90s, bro. That's when they started. That's when they started like pushing heavy for this shit, bro.
Requiring them to
they put in the hospitals
information about paternity acknowledgement. So now the hospital staff, not only do they have to deliver babies,
they push for the
stuff,
signing.
The excellent staff at hospitals and the nurses and all that, they have to do another job, and that's get parents to sign this form.
Shout out to the women that are fighting for men's rights.
Facts,
you don't hate women.
I like that it was a black woman that was talking about that shit too. Hashtag the child support hustle. You saw that sign in the background? Because look, it's far too often we be seeing like the negative examples of like toxic femininity, and it be a black woman like pushing it or like being the face of it. It pisses me off. I don't like it. I don't like it. That's why I love when I see a black woman talk about some real shit that is factual. You feel me? I'm like, yes. She got a brain. I love it. I love it. It makes me feel good inside.
We just despise the foolishness. We have to generalize when we discuss these topics. And if it doesn't apply,
let it fly.
This system is crooked. They know that they will have to pay for these children if men don't pick up the slack. That's why these judges have incentives to put non-biological fathers on child support.
Incentive. That's the name of the game.
Longer prison sentences. And they are rewarded for doing so. Let's read.
Bro, this nigga spitting,
the Tennessee Department of Human Services, who oversees the child support program, is fighting vigorously.
We read that already, so let's see what he says.
It's only right and the moral thing to do, an ethical thing to do, to ensure that the right people's names that match their DNA is on that birth certificate. Anything other than that, you are stealing a child from a biological parent.
And look, man, that's what it comes down to, bro. These people have no morals and they have no ethics. They don't care about you. They care about their bottom line, and they don't care about who suffers in the name of filling their pockets. Okay, that's just what it comes down to. And that's one of the examples of something that is a systemic misandry. Oh my God. Systemic. I never heard anyone say that. Systemic misandry. That's something that is systemic and it targets men. Oh, poor men, right? That's what the people will say. Oh, the poor, oh my gosh. Someone think of the men. I like to say, man, y'all be careful out there, man, bro. Y'all be careful, bro, because this shit is evil. It's wicked, real wicked, boy. That's wicked evil. Like, they don't care. They'll end somebody's whole life. They'll ruin your whole life. And they with no remorse. You're not a person to them. You're just a number, okay? License suspended. Your ass will end up in jail, and you still got back pay. Yeah, $30K in back pay, and it's not even your kid. Ugh. And I'm not saying that child support inherently is a bad thing. Like, if you have a kid and it's your kid, of course you gotta you know, you gotta help take care of that motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying? It took two. So that dude gotta help and the lady gotta help. Like, you know what it is. Y'all both gotta put in. But when it's not yours, you should not be having to pay nothing. It's not yours unless you sign up for that. And if you sign up for that and you didn't know that wasn't yours, okay, it's not your responsibility no more because you didn't know. It's a matter of right and wrong, bro. And 9 times out of 10, these people are gonna pick wrong no matter what. They don't care. But hey, man, that was the video, though. You know, let me know what y'all think down below. Make sure y'all be careful. If you have similar stories about paternity fraud, if this has happened to you, let your stories down in the comments below. We might talk about it in another video, you know what I'm saying? Because people don't really hear these stories for real. I know Jess Pearly Things, even though I don't like her, Jess Pearly Things is, I've seen her mention doing like a video or a documentary or something about paternity fraud and getting different guys their stories and stuff. But that's something that I'd be interested in seeing. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and join the Discord. The link's in the description box. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.